We love the cozy safety of a rainstorm, ignoring that heavy downpours provide perfect camouflage for the approach of a predator. Heavy weather creates a state of sensory deprivation. The constant drone of rain masks the sound of breaking glass. Cracking thunder covers the noise of forced entry, and the absence of moonlight swallows facial features and outlines. As sensory input drops to zero, the brain activates a primal survival mechanism, causing intuitive threat detection to violently spike. This peak manifests as an abrupt, unexplained shift in mood, or a sinking gut feeling when everything seems fine. Pushing away that sudden wave of unease on a quiet, stormy night removes the only early warning system you possess. Without it, you are entirely blind to an incoming ambush until the physical perimeter breaks. Consider a man sitting alone on his porch in 2004, enjoying a heavy night of rain. For over an hour, he was relaxed. Then, without any visible cause, his mood inverted into an intense, looming dread. Immediately after he retreated inside, the home phone began to ring. An unknown caller dialed repeatedly, letting it ring out. The intruder was testing the perimeter, trying to locate exactly where the homeowner was in the house. A masked intruder used a heavy tool to forcibly separate the front door from its wooden frame in mere seconds. Trapped inside, the homeowner hid in a hallway bathroom, dialing 911 on a wired phone with the volume muted. He listened as the intruder's heavy boots moved slowly through the bottom floor before creaking their way up the stairs. When police finally breached the house, they found the intruder in the upstairs master bedroom. He was lying on the bed, having laid out a gun and a large knife on the nightstand, waiting. By retreating the moment the atmosphere shifted, the homeowner unknowingly placed himself behind a second locked door before the first one ever moved. His survival was dictated by a reaction that preceded the actual threat. In our second case, a young man home alone during a severe daytime storm heard a soft whistling outside. Looking through the window, he saw a drenched stranger standing motionless under the porch overhang, staring at the door. Standing aimlessly in a freezing storm is a highly anomalous data point. The human brain flags this type of illogical patience as a biological red flag, alerting the victim that the man outside was hunting, not just waiting. The stalker eventually retreated, but hours later, at 1 a.m., the victim woke to a loud, hollow thump against his second-story bedroom window. The man was back, hidden in the pitch black, rhythmically throwing rocks against the glass. Hoping to capture an image, the victim crept downstairs to a side window. As he held his phone up, the whistling stopped. The stalker slammed his body into the glass just inches away, shattering the pane and screaming into the house. This encounter illustrates how the subconscious identifies predatory baiting. The brain recognizes that bizarre behavior in an isolated setting is a reliable indicator that the normal social contract has been replaced by hostile intent. At a rural hotel, a security guard working the night shift during a heavy downpour intercepted a drenched, sickly-looking man walking through the empty parking lot toward the building. The stranger stopped directly in front of the guard. His eyes darted down to the guard's sidearm holster, followed by precise questions about the hotel's operating hours and whether security was posted around the clock. Those micro-cues fed directly into the guard's intuition. When the man slipped into the lobby 2 hours later, the guard immediately abandoned his post and followed him up to the second floor. Stepping into the hallway, the guard found the intruder in a state of rage, raising a hunting knife against the door. Inside that room was an exhausted woman who had checked in earlier to flee from him. The door was already bowing. If the guard had hesitated for even 30 seconds, the intruder would have made it inside. The guard's brain calculated hostile intent from micro-expressions and high-risk questions faster than his conscious mind could organize the logic. He acted on a conclusion his intellect hadn't yet reached. In each of these accounts, the physical boundaries, deadbolts, glass panes, and hotel doors, failed or were seconds from failing. The only factor that consistently provided enough time to survive was the intuitive reaction. We suffer from an illusion of security. 4 walls and a locked door lead us to assume we are safe, especially when a storm isolates us and deafens our physical senses. When you suddenly feel a chill down your spine or a wave of dread in a quiet room, Your nervous system is processing invisible threat data that your conscious brain has missed. This leads to one absolute rule for surviving isolation. Never negotiate with your gut feeling. If your instinct tells you that something is wrong, you must operate as if it is undeniably right. When a storm masks the world outside, physical locks mean very little. Trusting that sudden, dark shift in the atmosphere is the only real barrier keeping you alive.